My name's Phil Hayward and I'm a type 1 diabetic, have been for almost 49 years now. Well, I've had quite a few visits in hospital, but some memorable ones. The first one was when they changed me over to U100 insulin, and I ended up almost in a coma because they overdosed me. I had my normal insulin as I was told to by the consultant, and a young doctor came in just before lunchtime and forced me to actually have this new U100 insulin. And my sugars at about 11 o'clock were about 7, but then at 12, just gone 12 o'clock, I went into a hypo and didn't get my lunch, and woke up from this coma with bruises all down my arms and my legs, where this guy had tried 13 times to try and get some glucose into me. The same guy. He was a big rugby player, I remember him well, but I should never forget what that guy actually did to me. Ruined my faith in the hospital and the NHS at the time. Scared me from going into hospital. Well, I went into a hospital with food poisoning, and what happened was they tried to treat the food poisoning but forgot about DKA. My sugars at the time were off the scale, and I actually had to tell the paramedics who came out to see me to use my ketone measuring device, because they didn't carry one on the ambulance, which I thought was a bit crazy. The number of diabetics that are obviously now reporting sick. So I did that, and it was 7.6 at the time, and I was really scared then. And by the time I got in the hospital, it was up to 8, and I was then really worried. And the hospital then took me through, put cannulas on me, one for glucose, one for saline drip, and then they shoved me into a isolation room. And I was in there, and I had no access to a bleeper, an alarm system, or even to get out of the bed, because that had the sides on it like a cot. And I was shut in this room for over 2 hours before anybody had actually come out to see me. And when I eventually got somebody in there, it was through me shouting and then dropping something on the floor to make a noise, because the door was shut and I was a prisoner almost, and I felt so uneasy after that. And that has really put me off going into hospital. I'm really frightened when I go into hospital for anything, and I've been in quite a few times, and it always comes back to haunt me that there's something there that I've got no faith in what they're supposed to be doing for me. First thing is to speak with the patients and understand how they feel about the diabetes, and try and explain what they want to do, whatever the treatment is, but also to listen to what the patients are saying about themselves. Look at what the regime is and make sure that the staff understand what regime the patient's on, because again, you need to build up the confidence with you and the patient on what they really need to actually successfully get out of hospital as soon as possible.